are not native speakers of the language, so I am sorry that I cannot speak in your language. On behalf of the international civil society representatives, I, Nandini Azad, and our organization of 650,000 very, very poor women, thank you very much, particularly the Brazilian presidency, for giving us the privilege, the honor, and the pleasure of greeting you all, dignitaries on the stage, in the audience, officials from the G20 countries, sisters and brothers from the media, and from civil society, so many large number of people. So thank you on behalf of the international civil society organizations, the honor and pleasure of greeting you all dignitaries on stage, in the audience, officials from G20 countries, officials from the G20 countries, if they are here, sisters and brothers from civil society here and in Latin America, and the brothers and sisters from the media who are our great friends in civil society all over the world, the private sector, culture and all. His Excellency the Mayor of Rio, Excellency the Minister for Women, the local civil society representative who spoke so beautifully before me, and also Her Excellency, Madam, the First Lady, Janja Lulu da Silva. Welcome. Did I say it right? That was the coaching. The whole day I was being coached how to use the pronunciation. His Excellency, the Foreign Minister. Last but not least, the Chief Minister for His Excellency President's General Secretariat and Office, Mr. Marcio Massado. Is that okay? Let me heartily congratulate the Brazil presidency and His Excellency, the President, for the historic innovation to include the voices from the ground, that is the civil society. Inclusion and access would be the token and the symbol of this presidency, I'm sure, because that is what the future holds for us. Social participation is very key to good governance and the international processes, bringing together the meeting of minds of governance and civil society. I would particularly say that we need to include women better, because I head a very large organization of 650,000 poor women who have transformed their lives and are leaders in their community. So the time has come that this presidency could kindly see that women become the decision makers, key decision makers in public policies. And this is something that I request that we keep in mind, because it's far too long and they have to be in the forefront. You see, unless you bring in women, there is not going to be the whole issue of inequity, gender inequity, inequality, and only that will bring in sustainable development, livelihoods, and of course, harmony in the family, in the community, and two instead of one hand working. We have talked about this for too long, and the time has come that the G20 presidency under the leadership of Brazil and Madam also should take this up very, very firmly. And I note that my country now has handed over the leadership, India, to the Brazilian leadership, and later on it will move to South Africa. So therefore, the powerful voices that this presidency has brought in will continue the innovation to become a regular practice in the G20, where civil society become hand in hand with the governance system for better sustainability. Why I mention President Lula many times, I must tell you, in secret, in confidence. Last year in the COP, the Conference of Parties, every time we would hear one head of state, and that was President Lula, who would come there and be part of the people who are polluters, who we watch and be there. He was one of the very few persons who would come there during the negotiations and sit there. We all appreciated him from civil society even before coming to Brazil. Not only women, but the participation of youth contributes to so much unrest, unemployment. We must make sure that the Alliance of the Global Alliance for Hunger and Poverty must pay special attention to the youth, and then the small farmers, small women farmers, because every time you talk farmers, it seems to be men. No, small farmers, there are a lot of women that do all those activities. Micro entrepreneurs, small vendors, hawkers, informal sector workers, indigenous people, and the poor and the disabled. We'll have to bring all those on the pale and margins of society. Their voices from the ground has to be heard, as you have facilitated in the Brazilian presidency. A real congratulations back to the leadership. I also would like to thank the civil society governance connection that this presidency has started, which India had sort of started before. But this is a formal way of getting a civil society, getting a summit, a social summit, which will discuss the policy issues before the governance meet, before the leaders meet. I think this deserves a big hand, that this is the first time that we have got space in a situation like this. The Global Alliance Against Hunger and Poverty is a most brilliant idea. I have to go faster?
To finish.
Yeah. So interestingly, 20 years ago, in the South Asia region, the SAARC, we started a poverty commission like this. And I think the time has come where you should have poverty commissioners who are practitioners from civil society, who know the ground apart from the theory. So therefore, the Alliance can count on us to make it very strong from what we have learned before. And not only qualitative numbers for planning, but what is the processes and where are the loopholes that we have to plug if we want that unity and harmony remain along with dialogue. Now, in terms of the... I'll finish it. Let me introduce myself. It's too late, but I'll take one more minute. I head an organization of 650,000 poor women who, from $20 taking loans, now have multi-storied houses. Their children are engineers, doctors into the formal sector, fight in their community, in their local government. So it's possible to transform even the most illiterate and poor, and that is what the practices that the presidency should pick up as case studies. And thank you for inviting people like us who work on the ground. Finally, just one more minute. I've come 20 hours to be with you. I've come 20 hours by plane. So, I would like to tell you that they started with $20. Now they employ 3 to 5 people, these poor women. And not only that, they have got their children moving into the formal sector. It's possible by cooperatives. We work with cooperatives, very poor women's cooperatives. And we got elected to the largest, oldest cooperative union in the world, the Raiffeisen Union, where Rabobank and Raiffeisen Bank sit on the board with a poor women's cooperative like ours. That is the power of people. That is the power of participation, which I think in Brazil you understand very much. So we like to offer, because he's forcing me now to not say any more good words about the presidency. It may not go well with your whatever. So thank you very much, and I thank the presidency for making the connect. And that is something which is a historic innovation. How many governance process want to put civil society into governance decision making? So thank you very much. Madam, please convey this to your husband, that it's a very historic thing that somebody traveling 20 hours from Asia to tell you this. Thank you very much. Namaste. What a pleasure.